Hi, I'm Kimberly, and welcome to As I've Seen It. Be careful what you wish for. Republicans wanted Donald Trump to become president of the United States, and now they got that fool. And the big drama right now is Trumpty Dumpty has decided that he trusts the Russians and Julian Assange more than he trusts the 17 intelligence agencies of the United States. One of the arguments is that, well, remember, it was the CIA that lied to us about weapons of mass destruction and got us into the Iraq War. Oh, no, baby, no. Did y'all forget already? Remember the case of Valerie Plame. She was a CIA agent during the early Bush years. So in 2002, when there were all these rumors flying about of weapons of mass destruction, it was actually the CIA going, no, that's not the information we have. We don't hear anything like that. So in early 2002, Valerie Plame suggested to her bosses at the CIA that they send her husband to Niger to investigate the claim that Iraq had purchased what was a yellow cake uranium. And so former Ambassador Joe Wilson, who was married to Valerie Plame, went off to Niger and used his contacts and information to investigate this story of Iraq buying uranium. He sent a report to the CIA in 2002, a year before the Iraq War, a year before the US invaded Iraq, and his report said, no sale of uranium from Niger to Iraq. Nope, didn't happen. That's not what the Bush administration told us. The Bush administration took the information from the CIA and said, that doesn't look the way we want it to look, so we're just going to change it. And when George Bush gave his State of the Union in January 2003, 3 months before he invaded Iraq, he stood up there and said, the British have reported that Iraq bought uranium in Niger, blah, 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 blah. He basically flipped the script, flat out lied. Remember, this is the Bush administration that sent Colin Powell, who had an impeccable reputation, sent Powell to the UN with false information and tried to convince the world that it was okay to invade Iraq. So the Iraq invasion happens, and then Joe Wilson, the former ambassador, Valerie Plame's husband, wrote an op-ed for the New York Times and said, this is not what I told them. This is not what I reported to the Bush administration. And the world went kablooey. You lied to us. You said, what, Mr. President, blah, 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 blah. His press secretary at the time, Ari Fleischer, turned about 8 shades of purple, I believe, when he had to walk back his boss's statement saying, yeah, we shouldn't have said that at the State of the Union, that, there was evidence of them buying uranium because there really wasn't any. So to retaliate against former Ambassador Joe Wilson, because he told the truth to the world, the Bush administration leaked the fact that Valerie Plame was a full-on CIA agent. Girlfriend worked undercover. She was like spy. They leaked that to Robert Novak, who was a journalist who has since passed away. Novak was the one who published it. Oh, by the way, this guy who wrote about the uranium, his wife's a covert CIA operative. Ooh, baby, we don't expose covert CIA operatives. Huge, massive investigation to see who in the White House leaked this and who got blamed for it. Scooter Libby. Remember Scooter Libby? Scooter Libby got in all kinds of trouble. They didn't accuse him of making the leak. They accused him of covering up the fact that the White House leaked it. So Scooter was the one who went on trial and was convicted, and George Bush pardoned him. Scooter was Dick Cheney's right-hand man. He was Dick Cheney's assistant. And remember, they also questioned Karl Rove, that slippery bastard, where he was like, yeah, I kind of knew she was a spy, but I didn't really tell anyone. Well, I might have told a reporter, but I had already heard it from other reporters, so the information was out there, so I didn't really do it. Now, according to some sources, this was the straw that sort of broke the camel's back, the relationship between Bush and Cheney. Because George Bush was not down with the idea of exposing a CIA agent, possibly putting her in danger, her colleagues in danger, her children in danger. And Cheney, Darth Vader, actually that's an insult to Darth. Cheney and Rove, they're not above any kind of dirty tricks. So the moral of that story was the CIA was saying, we don't have evidence of weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. And the Bush administration was looking at it and going, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Come on. You inch this way. Come on. We got them. Let's go to war. So that was thing one. Cozying up to the Russians. Have these Republicans forgotten 2010? Remember, there was a whole nest of Russian spies we busted in 2010 living in like Montclair, New Jersey? These 10 people? Remember, some of them had been there for decades, deep undercover, and had children who'd been born in the US, and they were planning to convert the children to becoming Russian spies, so we had 2 generations. But the press got distracted. They were so busy looking at the red-haired girl and posting pictures of Miss Hotsy Totsy that they, kind of downplayed the whole thing that the US just busted 10 Russian spies, kicked them out of the country in exchange for some Americans, who were probably spies that we swapped them for. Russia's not some harmless ally. As recently as 2015, the US busted a couple of more Russian spies living in New York. Let us not pretend like, it's just water under the bridge. We can be buddies now. Russia's harmless. Are you kidding? Russia's harmless? Ask the Balkan states how harmless they think Russia is. They're sitting there going, when are those tanks going to move across our border? So we'll see how all of this plays out. Trumpty Dumpty is due to have his intelligence briefing. And let's see what he tweets after his intelligence briefing. He's not president. He hasn't been inaugurated. Already causing problems. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.